Hi, I'm Parag Singhani with the Westwood Salient Energy Infrastructure team. For this month's video, I'm going to provide an update on the state of the energy markets. Over the past few months, we have received long-term demand forecasts from the IEA, which is part of the OECD, and OPEC. As you can see from this graph, fossil fuels continue to dominate the energy mix with oil, natural gas, and coal representing 80% of energy supply. In fact, humans used more coal in 2022 than ever before, despite the big gains we've seen in renewables. The reality is that the energy transition today looks a lot more like an energy addition. What is driving the continued use of fossil fuels is simply strong economic growth. Looking forward, we continue to see renewables gaining significant market share. However, based on current trajectories, demand for oil and gas should continue to grow and remain high for years to come. Looking specifically at the most recent forecasts, OPEC remains bullish on oil and sees demand growing through 2045. Demand, in fact, is estimated to grow to about 117 million barrels per day compared to 102 million barrels per day today. If we look at the bearish forecast, which comes from the IEA, we reach a peak in oil demand in 2030 at about 105 million barrels per day. But the real takeaway from the IEA forecast is the long tail of demand where oil usage is still around 100 million barrels per day in 2050, the same level of demand as last year. Natural gas forecasts are similar to oil. OPEC, which is bullish natural gas demand, sees demand north of 500 billion cubic feet per day in 2045, while the IEA sees demand for natural gas peaking in 2030, but remaining relatively flat from there, just below 400 billion cubic feet per day. When we put all this together, based on current projections for oil and gas demand, it appears the world is nowhere near achieving net zero by 2050. Gains made in China, the US, and Europe from decarbonization are significantly offset by developing economies and their thirst for energy. In order to decarbonize, we believe that the pace of renewable development will have to accelerate in coming years. Until then, the global economy remains resolutely tethered to oil and gas. Thank you for your time, and if you have any questions, please reach out to your Westwood advisor, and have a happy Thanksgiving.